Hello and welcome to the next episode of Son of Kaiju Review.
That's not true, and you know it.
Pretty sure this is the second episode, which is the next episode after the previous episode.
It's a prequel, I tell you.
No, it's a sequel, just like the movie we're talking about, which is actually part of the reason we named this series, Son of Kaiju Review.
Yeah, so today we'll be talking about Son of Kong.
Yeah, the sequel to the original King Kong. I believe it came out the same year as King Kong, in fact.
I believe, maybe.
It was a rush job.
Yeah, the success of King Kong made them quickly want to make a sequel, but with Kong being dead at the end of the first movie, they had to pull something out of their butt.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Miriam C. Cooper had nothing to do with the writing of this movie.
I don't think so either.
But it does have some decent stop-motion special effects.
Oh, yeah, it's... Yeah.
But that, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
I suppose we should probably talk about, the movie and its plot.
There was a plot?
Yes, there was quite a bit of a plot.
Mm-hmm.
So, excuse me. Since this is a sequel to King Kong, this movie starts with Carl Denham in a bunch of legal trouble for the damage.
Yeah, he's getting sued out of his ass.
All because of the damage that King Kong caused.
Oh, yeah. He's got lawyers up his bunghole.
Process servers just
Barging into his...
trying to break into the apartment he's living in and standing around outside wearing disguises, all just to serve him
paperwork. You have been served.
Yeah.
Oh, so during this time of all these people just coming and serving him, his housemate or landlord or landlady just comes and just locks the door, and they look out the window and they see Charlie come walking to the door.
Well, this is after a news reporter comes in,
the news reporter,
pretending to be somebody else, and she wants a story. And Denham basically is telling her, "Here's your story. I'm broke.
Yep. Yep.
I've been sued. I am being sued to oblivion. I have nothing."
So after they kind of kick
her out,
Charlie shows up and tells them that they got a job on a ship job.
Well, technically, Englehorn still owns the ship because it's one of the last possessions that the lawyers haven't taken.
Yeah, so...
And he basically... Charlie, the Asian cook from the previous movie, delivers... Yeah, he's a fun character. He delivers a letter to Denham, which basically invites Denham to come flee out to the ocean.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, they're like... Let's grab our shit and go. Whatever stuff they did not take.
But, unfortunately, there's still a bunch of lawyers and process servers waiting around outside. And one of them manages to finagle his way in by disguising himself as a rag
salesman or something.
I think a rag buyer.
Rag buyer. Oh, yeah.
And Denham recognizes him as being one of the process servers, and he admits defeat and takes the process that has been served to him. Mm-hmm. But he manages to convince the guy to help him flee.
Exactly. He leaves by sneaking out, wearing overalls, and with a tin on his head, or a bucket of some sort on his head, climbing up onto a horse wagon.
And none of the process servers think anything other. All they're concerned with is, hey, how'd you get into the building?
Yeah. And
the rag man,
yep.
we'll call him.
Yep.
He says, "Oh no, I got up on the roof, see?"
Yep.
But he and Denham make their getaway.
Yep. Then they finally meet up with Skipper and
Captain Englehorn.
Yes, Captain Englehorn, where the the guy who helped him get to the
ragman?
Yeah, the ragman shows back up on the ship
to warn them that, hey, there's a bunch of process servers out there. You should probably
get going. But Carl ends up telling him, "Oh, if you give me one more of these things, I'm gonna slug you."
So Engelhorn, his new crew, Charlie and Carl, all just
go
to finally be free of all the legal nightmares that Kong brought them.
Well, they can't sue a giant ape, so
they decide to go to the West Indies, I believe.
Yes, I believe so. The Dutch area, or
it's a Dutch territory, but it's not in Denmark.
Yes. So they're on this island that it's not Skull Island.
On the way to this port, Carl does kind of question Engelhorn how far he thinks it is to Kong's Island.
But then, Engelhorn just pretty much says so and so miles, or whatever that is in ship talk.
And Carl is a little surprised, but Engelhorn is like, I came across the chart from our last voyage, and I just took a look at it, so that's why it's fresh in my mind.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, they make it to this port, and just kind of hang out for a while. They catch a show that honestly isn't all that good. It's got like a monkey band and a singer she's a good singer, but
apparently it's a father and daughter group.
Yeah.
The father is the owner of the monkey band and
the ringmaster, I suppose.
I'm guessing so. I think it's a ringmaster, like
one of
circus leader or some jargon like that. We can't think of the word, and we're not like recycled balls and have to Google everything. JK.
So anyway.
Yep.
They just kind of hang out in port while the ringleader that night decides to hang out with a drinking buddy of his, which he really only considers a drinking buddy because
he's a white man that likes to talk to him, I guess.
Yeah, that's
what he says.
That's what he says. And we learn that it is a former captain by the name of Hellstrom. Mm-hmm. And the two that night, while drunk, get into a bit of a fight with the ringmaster actually basically accusing Hellstrom of scuppering his own ship for the insurance.
Yep. And
it clearly didn't work out because Hellstrom is here.
Yeah, and the ringmaster is no longer here.
Well, Hellstrom is there, flat broke.
Yes.
And needing anybody to pay for his drinks. But the two get into a fight, and
a bottle shot to the head ends up in that thick of a bottle could do some damage to someone. So.
But during the fight, the whole tent goes up in flames.
Yep. He tries to.
Hellstrom escapes.
Yeah.
And oh God, what is her name? The daughter. I can't remember her name.
They just call her Kid for most of the movie.
Well, Denham does, yeah. But Kid, I guess we'll go with, manages to pull her father out of the flaming tent, but he doesn't survive much longer.
No.
Now, by this point, Kid and Denham have met, and Denham has basically kind of given her some pointers.
Yeah.
But she knows now that there's nothing left for her on this little port town.
Before that, though, she's trying to wrangle up the monkeys again. And there's a funny little line. She asks Denham, "So are you an expert at wrangling up monkeys?" Have I ever wrangled up a monkey? Ooh, he wrangled up the biggest monkey.
Oh, yeah.
Just a funny little line that's just like, oh yeah, I guess I can't.
She wants to get out of there, but Denham is hesitant to bring her along because he doesn't know when they'll next be in port. He doesn't even know if they'll ever come back. But she's like, well, I've got nothing left here. My dad's dead. The whole circus is
kind of effed up.
But
she could tell him a story about how that her father was in a bigger circus. They were both in a bigger circus, but the drink kind of took over, and he got kicked out of the circus.
Yes, that is true. Now, after her encounter with Denim, she encounters Hellstrom, who is sympathetic to her plight, but she knows better.
She's like, you killed him. I did not. You get all defensive, like, okay.
I did not. You don't know that. You weren't there. Well, how do you know I wasn't there if you weren't there?
He's just like...
It's like, oh,
she is outsmarting him in so many levels.
And she warns him, as soon as the Dutch magistrate gets here, I'm telling him exactly what happened. And Hellstrom knows he's got to get the hell out of Dodge.
Then,
which is weird because he's not in Dodge.
Exactly. So. Exactly. But the thing is, he ends up at a tavern or a bar or some type of...
And the bartender isn't going to give him a drink without being paid first. What a jerk.
Oh, God. Just give the man a free drink. But it doesn't work that way.
But it's at this point that Hellstrom spots someone he recognizes. Denim.
Yep.
Turns out, as Denim reveals to Englehorn, Hellstrom was the guy who gave Denim the map to Skull Island.
Oh,
and Denim starts regaling the tale, and Hellstrom was like, well, since I gave you the map, you want to give me half of the profits? Oh, you want half?
Okay, I can give you half.
I've got like 11 lawsuits, property damage.
And he's up shit creek without a paddle.
And Hellstrom is like, okay.
Yep. Have a drink then.
Well, okay.
Hey, did you get the gold or the treasure?
And Denim's like, what treasure? The treasure. Didn't I tell you about the treasure? No.
No.
So Hellstrom claims that there's a treasure on Kong Island.
So that kind of makes them want to go back to Kong Island.
And they end up taking Hellstrom with them. And
Kid ends up coming along as well, but unbeknownst to the crew, besides Charlie seeing her, spotting her.
Yeah, she sneaks aboard the ship. Charlie finds her while they're out at sea. Then all of the crew, led by a guy named Red, according to the credits, inform Englehorn and Denim that she was aboard. And Hellstrom finds out.
Yeah, and just like, oh.
And that's a problem for him because she still knows what he did.
Exactly.
And she could totally screw this over. But during this entire voyage, Hellstrom has been in cahoots with Red and the crew and basically convinces them that, hey,
mutiny!
Hey, let's mutiny. Did you hear about what happened the last time this Englehorn went to this island we're headed to? Like a dozen of his men died. And so Red and Hellstrom lead a mutiny, getting rid of Denim, Englehorn, Charlie, who wanted to come along, and Kid.
I know she has a name, but we don't remember it.
I don't remember her name. This is like mostly through the movie by this point.
Yep.
This is a 70-minute movie, and it takes 40 minutes to finally get to any action.
Exactly.
But they managed to cast those four off. And then Hellstrom tries to take command as the new captain. And Red's like, oh, you think you're the captain now?
There is no captain now.
We didn't get rid of a captain in order to instate another bad one. You're going over the board too.
We didn't get rid of a good captain to get a bad captain.
Yeah, that's basically what he says.
Yep.
And so they hoist Hellstrom overboard.
Chuck! Splash.
And Denim despite knowing that Hellstrom was integral to the mutiny, lets Hellstrom on board.
Yeah, but the funny thing is, he grabs him by the head and just puts it underwater.
He does dunk him and does question. It's like, do we have to save him though? Really? They do save him though, but as far as Red and the rest of the crew who are now sailing around captainless, which makes no sense because who's going to give all the commands?
Oh, that's just going to be
That's going to be a bit of a shit show.
Yep, pretty much.
But they take the rowboat to Kong Island and figure, okay, we know these people who live here. We could probably get some shelter from them. And
all of a sudden a spear comes out of nowhere.
And the village chief and a bunch of the warriors from the tribe just show up and basically like, yeah, no, remember how you were basically integral to a sizable destruction of our village? Yeah, get the hell out of here.
Yep. All right, I guess we're going to another side.
So the castaways are having to go ashore on another side of the island beyond the wall, which is far, far more dangerous.
Oh, yes. With dinosaurs and lizards and a lot of dinosaurs.
Yeah.
And a giant bear, I guess.
And as they're about to head inland, Hellstrom wants to have a gun. And Englehorn is like, give you a gun? Yeah, right.
Smart people don't need guns.
Which was actually something that Hellstrom said to Denham
earlier
when the crew decided to leave them without guns.
Yep.
Though Charlie had secretly snuck a couple rifles aboard.
Yep.
They're shotguns.
It's one of them.
But yeah, we're 40 minutes into the 70-minute movie, and we're finally getting stuff done.
Yep.
I do realize that we have rushed through a good chunk of the movie, but it's not that interesting.
Exactly. It's good, but it's not the greatest Kong movie ever made.
Yeah, this final roughly half hour really shows you kind of how rushed this plot is, given that over half of the movie has no special effects whatsoever. But then we do get the stop-motion special effects, and they're pretty good.
Oh, yeah. First they encounter a Triceratops that kind of chased them into a...
and caused them to split up. But Denham and Kid, who had Denham told Kid to stick to him, so she did.
So literally, he climbed up a little bit, and then all of a sudden she followed. She just
follows. And together they find a young Kong.
I wouldn't consider it a baby Kong, though. Maybe just not even, Kid Kong or something like.
No, it's never mentioned in the movie, but this Kid Kong was named Coco in pre-production and during production, so we'll be calling it Coco for the remainder of the movie. So of course Denham recognizes Coco as basically being the son of Kong from the first movie. It's like this movie is kind of a redemption arc for Denham for all the stuff that he ended up putting Kong through in the previous movie.
Pretty much. He feels like they find him in quicksand.
And they help him out, and he helps them out. They bandage up one of his fingers after it gets injured, and they kind of form a bond.
Yep.
And with Coco's help, they manage to find the treasure, which once Hellstrom, Englehorn, and Charlie reunite with them, surprises the hell out of Hellstrom, because he admits, I made that treasure shit up.
He's like...
Well, they found it.
Yep.
And Coco fights a bear.
Yep. And
they get some of the treasure. And then Coco ends up fighting a lizard monster inside a cave, which somehow triggers the entire island to sink into the ocean.
I don't know how. That maybe...
Like, what? What?
Like, for some odd reason. It's weird.
It is very weird. It is just a rushed climax. So now all the humans have to get back to the boat in order to not to be killed by the sinking island.
Yes.
And with Coco's help, they do manage to get to the boat, except for Hellstrom, who gets eaten by a sea monster.
Sea dinosaur monster thing.
He has an ignoble death, which is befitting of the ignoble man that he is.
Indeed, very much so.
But Coco ends up sacrificing himself in order to help Denim and Kid get to the ship. Mm-hmm. And that leaves them stranded at sea, and then they spot an ocean liner or something and get rescued. And, and since they still have some of the treasure, that means that they can pay off their legal debts.
Indeed.
And Denim and Kid decide to stick together from then on, and I guess they're a couple now. The end!
Yes. Sorry that this podcast was so short, folks.
This movie is not that well paced.
It is not. It kind of feels a little rushed.
Yeah.
Like
they clearly didn't have enough material to justify having all of the stop motion special effects that made the previous movie such a spectacular film.
There's one scene though in the movie that I think it's when he does fight the lizard in the cave thing.
Yeah.
Where after he beats it a little bit, he kind of does the Kong thing where he opens the mouth up with the drunken T-Rex. But you didn't break his jaw, bud. Does it?
Also, the fight with the bear. I think.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Coco's fight with the bear was pretty interesting.
And that's how he got his finger. The bear bit it.
No, I'm pretty sure it was injured before. It was.
Maybe.
He was fighting the bear while Denim and Kid were outside the treasure trove that was still blocked off.
Mm. Then he shot his hand with the gun.
Yep.
I'm just trying to figure out how that's going to work because his hand.
He didn't shoot through his hand. He just fired. I think he grazed his hand.
Yeah. Just like, ow.
He was just toying with the rifle because he didn't know what was going on. Carl couldn't exactly take it away from him.
Well, look at the size of him. Not as big as his father.
But yeah, this is an okay movie. Mm-hmm. Not nearly as good as the original King Kong. Mm-hmm. But in that same vein, I kind of want to compare this to Godzilla Raids Again. A kind of rushed, not that well written sequel, which is still good. Mm-hmm. Still enjoyable, but it's certainly nowhere near as good as the original.
Also, it's kind of similar because Godzilla dies in the first movie, and they find this is just another Godzilla species and raids again.
And, of course, King Kong dies in the first movie, and we find another Kong in this movie.
Yes.
Yeah, so...
yeah.
I'd say check it out, but don't expect it to be nearly as great as the original movie.
Now, let's see. Should we recommend some kaiju films for people to watch?
No, we don't recommend stuff on this channel. Go check out Protoball's Talk for recommendations of stuff. But we're just focusing on the movies that are the topic.
Yeah.
And yeah, this movie.
Honestly, it's like we said before. It's not bad, but it's not not good.
Yeah, it's kind of in the middle.
Yeah. If you want to watch, if you want to watch some King Kong movies, watch, King Kong.
Or King Kong. Or King Kong.
Or King Kong.
Yeah, so our recommendations for movies are King Kong, and King Kong.
Okay, the original King Kong Escapes, and Peter Jackson's King Kong and Skull Island.
I guess those are your Kong recommendations. Yeah. I just wanted to make the joke of there being 3 movies titled King Kong.
Yeah,
but, yeah. So yeah, that's all for this episode of Son of Kaiju Review.
Yeah.
Sorry if it felt a bit rushed, but
this movie was rushed.
Yes. Bye.
Bye. Till next time.